For well over a decade now, Garnt Manageable, more well known as Gigguk, has been making highly scripted YouTube videos discussing anime and Weeb culture. For years, he's been setting trends and influencing other anime YouTubers to step up their content game. Recently, he's seen massive success both on his own YouTube channel and as the co-host of a popular video podcast series called Trash Taste. The story of Gigguk that we are going to cover is quite unique and interesting, as it seems that Gigguk predicted the rise of high-effort, long-form content well before it was a thing that YouTube algorithm gods favored. Despite his clever insights, Gigguk has struggled to execute on his ideas, taking sometimes months in between videos. At some point he even went so far that he stopped pursuing YouTube altogether. In the end, he persevered and it paid off big time. This video is going to cover the full story of Gigguk from his first upload all the way up until 3.2 million subscribers. Let's see what we can learn from the smartest weeb on YouTube. Join me as we travel back in time.
Hey guys, it's Gigguk here.
Fuck this view. Fuck these islands. Just give me some fucking anime.
It's the year 2007. YouTube is in its infancy. First generation iPhones are just a rumor whispered by stock market pros. And Queen Elizabeth is, well, she's Queen Elizabeth, old but not yet dead.
I'm still alive.
Late at night, we find our spiky-haired protagonist, a college student named Gigguk, hunched over his laptop.
I'm just gonna call him Gigguk as I can't pronounce his proper name.
He's not studying for his maths exams as he should. Instead, he's putting finishing touches on his first ever YouTube video. And let me tell you, this video was going to be big. It was going to become his magnum opus, a piece of art that would be remembered by generations to come.
So, what was it then?
Well, it was a video review about Bleach. With shaking hands, he uploaded the video on YouTube, and on the first night it gained a whopping 5 views.
Nice.
104 days later, Gigguk uploads his second video after a commenter requested a review of Lucky Stars. From there, he started a series of anime reviews where he covers some of the cult classics such as Death Note, Black Lagoon, and a couple of shows where big robots beat up other big robots. This series of videos was called Anime Zone Reviews. Back then, having the word anime in his branding did help with search engine optimization, but this decision didn't come without regrets.
Because I used to be branded as the Anime Zone, which is like the most generic branding I could think of at the time, and I regret ever calling my channel that.
Gigguk was slowly but steadily gaining notoriety as a snarky Brit who can spit jokes faster than Takumi Fujiwara can drift corners.
Approach to look at any topic that crosses my mind relating to the subject of anime and manga.
While his comedy had a consistent speed of 5 jokes every 10 seconds, his upload frequency was sporadic at the best, leaving sometimes months in between videos. Back then, there was way less content on YouTube, and some people got offended if their favorite creators were not uploading too often. Ultimately, Gigguk got forgiven as he delivered well put together videos with a hint of that funny sauce.
Where'd all this yogurt come from?
In those days, the bar of good content was way lower. Gigguk was getting away editing videos with Windows Movie Maker and recording audio with his laptop's inbuilt microphone.
Those were the good old days when you could just get away with like putting pictures to words and just like not have to worry about editing at all.
In 2008, Gigguk started studying electronic engineering at Bristol University. This brought along more problems with time management. If you have ever tried to juggle your passion project, a career and a social life at the same time, you know what I'm on about. Gigguk's upload schedule was slowly descending into oblivion, but regardless, in October 2009, Gigguk hit his first milestone of 1000 subscribers. I bet you are sitting there and thinking that 1000 subscribers is not that much compared to what Mr. Beast and PewDiePie have now. But remember, back then Gigguk had more subscribers than Mr. Beast and PewDiePie combined, as neither of them had even created their YouTube channels. On his 1000 subscriber special, Gigguk also decided to show his face on camera for the first time. And look at that boy, he looks so much like a main character from an isekai.
I just got transported to a fantasy world and I'm not even gonna question it!
After gaining 1000 subscribers, Gigguk decided to do, well, nothing. That's right, for 8 whole months Gigguk didn't upload any videos on his YouTube channel and in the process doubled his subscriber count to 2000.
That's really impressive. Whoa.
The early days of AniTube was full of review channels and there was not much variation in content. In some cases it was even frowned upon if someone decided to step out of the line and try out something new. Up until now, Gigguk had also just made anime reviews with few exceptions, but there was an idea brewing in his head.
I kind of realized that anime reviews just didn't really have a future on YouTube. But like, it was really scary just to like have to like stop doing that, because when you do new content and all your audience is like, why aren't you doing this kind of old content anymore? You kind of like, you kind of just have to trust yourself that you know the best direction for your channel.
That idea in mind, Gigguk spent the next couple of years experimenting with his content. From that experimentation came to be a multi-part series of top 20 epically cool anime characters that took a full year to finish.
So get this, it was 8 parts. I was working on this one single project basically throughout university, and I realized about 2 videos in, after I'd spent like months just working on 2 videos, I'm just like, I've made a massive mistake.
Of all things, he also made an AMV anime music video.
Yes, I too did also partake in the making of an AMV back in the day. Just fucking kill me now.
Gigguk finally hit the gold when he started doing rant videos, a series of scripted commentary on Weeb culture and anime-related subjects. This style of video would later become unanimous with Gigguk's channel, opening a door to a wide range of subjects involving anything from anime industry to the Western anime fandom. Rant format gave Gigguk long creative freedom while still staying within the boundaries of his channel's branding. These rant videos were pretty well received as they created discussion and debate surrounding the subject in forms of video responses and comments. But not everything is rainbows and sunshine. During 2011, Gigguk got to experience how vicious the internet can get when his YouTube account got hacked and all his videos deleted.
The first time my channel got deleted was in 2011, which is why if you go to my oldest video, it's from 2011, and that's because I had to re-upload everything. That was the most my heart sank lower than anyone had ever I'd ever felt before. Yeah. Just seeing years of your work just be go down the drain, and it's completely out of your control.
On a lighter note, in summer of 2012, Gigguk hit the major milestone of 10,000 subscribers, and a couple of months later, a legendary anime podcast was founded. A podcast that would go define an era of AniTube. Yes, there was a popular Weeb podcast before Trash Taste, and yes, Gigguk with his golden touch was involved. Unlike its modern counterpart Trash Taste, Podtaku at least tried to be foremostly an anime podcast and for the most part succeeded in it. Originally Podtaku was hosted by Gene, Tristan, Holden and Gigguk. On a later date there was a second evolution of the podcast called J-Taku, where more people from AniTube community were invited to the podcast and the cast varied from episode to episode. As Podtaku was gearing into speed, Gigguk was scripting and producing his first abridged video, a parody of Evangelion 1.0. This project turned out to be pretty ambitious, as Gigguk needed to find multiple people for the voice acting roles. The acting cast consisted of some amateur voice actors and some of his fellow AniTubers. And let me say, this shit slaps.
What? Are you whining already?
But I haven't even said anything!
Shut up, Shinji, and get in the goddamn car!
You sure you can get away from all this action?
Don't you worry. I may not look it, but I'm an excellent driver. Fuck! Wait a minute!
Isn't that who I think it is?
Yes, indeed. While making EvAbridged, Gigguk got to know his future wife Sydsnap aka Sydney. EvAbridged also seemed to level up Gigguk's style of comedy, as he got comfortable writing jokes that were more three-dimensional. When in the past Gigguk seemingly just rattled jokes like a machine gun, now he had learned how to use editing, acting, sound effects and memes to emphasize the funny. As Gigguk's content was just getting better and better, it was inevitable that his channel would keep on growing. In May of 2013, Gigguk hit the mind-boggling number of 100,000 subscribers. It seemed like nothing could get on Gigguk's way, but little did we know, there was a content drought brewing in the horizon. Before that, let's wind back a bit. Gigguk and Sydsnap had continued working on the EvAbridged series and had a lot of contact with each other because of that.
And then obviously because we worked together so much, we talked to each other quite often. And then feelings started to grow. We decided to meet at ASEN.
At ASEN?
ASEN 2014.
Yeah, can't be better than that. Meeting, having a first fucking date at an anime convention is great. It's great.
Yeah.
3 weeks later, Sydsnap moved to London to study and to be with Gigguk.
I'm feeling like it's spicy. It's like really hot in here all of a sudden.
Somewhere along the way, Gigguk entered the workforce and got a job as a subcontractor at BBC. I'd say it's somewhere, let me see, it must be around this time. As you can see, there was a huge drop in productivity. In 2014, there was no previous precedent of anyone being able to earn money from making anime content on YouTube, so Gigguk did the responsible thing and started to pursue a traditional career path. Being a proper adult lad, working from 9 to 5 did not leave too much time and energy to work on Gigguk's YouTube channel, resulting in the dry spell of content. As years passed by, fans of Gigguk, yours truly included, started to accept the fact that we were never going to see more than a couple of videos a year from him. Sure, these year review videos brightened our days, and yes, there was Podtaku, but even that ended. Anyways, we needed something more, and it seemed like no one was doing anime content on YouTube.
Hey, how's it going everyone? This is the Anime Man.
No Joey, this is a video about Gigguk. If you wanna see a video about you, Connor or someone else, you could comment down below who it should be. And while you are at it, you could also push that red button, like this.
Hey guys, it's Gigguk here. If you haven't noticed for the past month, I've been doing something rather strange. Yes, I've been uploading again, and I know...
Gigguk was back, the content drought was over and everyone was happy. Working at BBC hadn't been as glamorous as it seemed. While Gigguk was away from YouTube, some other AniTubers had done the mad lad move and gone full-time YouTuber.
What?
This and some encouragement from Sydsnap solidified Gigguk's determination to make it on YouTube, but there was a catch. Gigguk had saved enough money to sustain himself for 6 months to a year, and in that time he needed to make YouTube viable, or back he went to the traditional career path. Gigguk started to churn video after video in quick succession to prove to himself and to his audience that he could
just do it!
Even before returning to YouTube, Gigguk had worked for a few months to make a couple of banger videos. He needed to make an impact, or else his comeback could possibly fail. Most YouTubers who leave this platform for extended periods of time don't return or are shadowed by their former success. Gigguk had to succeed, as he had promised to his parents that he would make it in a year or forget about YouTube for good.
Hi, Mum. Yes? Do you know what a YouTube is?
Are you what?
In June 17 of 2016, Gigguk launched his Patreon, and with the help of his fans he hit the goal of $2,500 in just under 2 days. This amount in this sort of time broke all previous AniTube records with ease, allowing Gigguk to go properly full-time on YouTube.
Are you a YouTuber?
Yes, I am.
Soon after, editing started to pose a problem for Gigguk. As an editor myself, I know editing is important, but so many people, me included, have fallen into the trap of thinking that editing is the most important part of making YouTube videos. However, if the underlying meat of the content is turd, no amount of fancy edits will make it anything else. It might be a shining fancy edited turd, but it's still a turd nonetheless. In Gigguk's case, the core substance has always been there and the editing has followed. But maybe, because of his high standards, Gigguk's quality of video editing rose to such lofty levels that it started to eat up too much time.
To me, a lot of your own personality can come through in the editing as well.
That's true.
But what I did was let's see if I can work with an editor so he can take the workload off without making me lose my own personality.
In October 2016, Gigguk came to the obvious conclusion and hired a video editor. Alan, a former AniTuber known as BakaShift, was a godsend to Gigguk, as he could take most of the labor-intensive editing work off of Gigguk's shoulders. With Alan as his editor, Gigguk could focus on the idea and scripting part of video creation.
I like scripting.
From 2016 onwards, you can notice a slow but steady rise in video quality. With better and more regular uploads, Gigguk's channel growth started to pick up steam. So much so that in December 2017 he hit 1 million subscribers.
Holy hell!
After leaving BBC, Gigguk's life became quite nomadic. As Sydsnap wasn't a UK citizen and Gigguk wasn't an American citizen, they needed to constantly switch countries to stay together. Thailand ended up as their temporary home as Gigguk had some relatives there. Thailand is also fairly easy to legally stay in without a Thai citizenship, but little did the pair of them know that soon their nomadic lifestyle was going to end.
What?
In April 2019, our favorite degenerate couple, Gigguk and Sydsnap, got engaged. Couple of months later, they both moved to Japan, fulfilling their destiny of completely weebifying their life.
I can safely say that this does taste like lollies.
Yeah, okay.
In hindsight, moving to Japan was the most obvious conclusion as both of them were doing anime and weeb content on YouTube. However, at the time the move was by no means self-evident, and it probably wouldn't have happened if not for one woman. Meilyne, also known as Gourmet May, was at the time working at Bookwalker, a subsidiary of Kadokawa, a huge Japanese media company. Meilyne had been collabing with YouTubers to promote Bookwalker and noticed that Japanese companies would definitely benefit from more YouTuber collaborations. GeeXPlus, an influencer agency, was formed, and as a part of that, Gigguk and Sydsnap were shipped to Japan. With the backing of a Japanese company, they could easily get visas that permitted them to reside and work there. The move to Japan had a secondary purpose, as we got to know on 5th of June 2020, when the first episode of Trash Taste podcast was uploaded on YouTube.
It's finally happening! Oh my god, you do not know how long we've been planning this.
With the cast of Joey the Anime Man, Connor CDawgVA and Gigguk, they set out to continue what the late podcast Podtaku had started. But because of lengthening tangents and some effort on Connor's part, Trash Taste started to diverge from anime subjects into discussion on whatever was on the boys' minds that day. It's gotten to a point where you can hear all about poop, troubles of being a YouTuber, and heated arguments about some of the worst takes on food.
To me, 90% of bread tastes the fucking same.
And all this can happen in the span of like 20 minutes or so. And you know what? We love it! Looking back at Gigguk's career, you can clearly see two different eras. Like any proper shonen anime protagonist, Gigguk's story had a time skip in the middle. And yes, I'm referring to BBC days. Like, just think about it. After the time skip, Gigguk came back stronger than ever, and that's basically what time skips are for in shonen shows.
Oh my god, you were the protagonist the whole time!
From this new post-time skip Gigguk, we got anime memes for days, we got more rants about weeb culture, and we got anime in minutes, an abridged style parody series that covers seasons of anime, well, in minutes. That's so dumb, why did I write that? On a serious note, Gigguk, now that you live in Japan, please take extra care if you decide to continue making anime in minutes. I know it's one of your most popular series and I would love to see more of it, but I have heard that in Japan some YouTubers have gone to jail for fairly similar content. JoJo Part 6 might sound like fun, but without the stands you're left with only the dick sucking.
Do you suck dick?
Speaking of sucking dick, I don't know if it's just dumb luck or maybe Gigguk is really smart, but his content seems to be benefiting from the newest YouTube recommendation algorithm. It's unclear to me at what point exactly, but somewhere around 2019, the algorithm started to use viewer retention as one of its major metrics. Nowadays, the algorithm thinks that good content equals content that can keep viewer attention for longer times. Gigguk's videos are like made for this definition of good content, as they are plus 10 minutes of fast-paced, scripted narration with bunch of jokes. You have probably seen other channels that have benefited from the current algorithm climate. These are your Mr. Beasts, mini documentary channels, and some gaming channels that do long-form scripted gaming videos. Gigguk's recent activity on the internet has been a great example of what a driven content creator is capable of when they start to get the recognition and the resources necessary to bring to life some of their more ambitious ideas. He's obviously been uploading great stuff on his main channel, but he's also been experimenting with his second channel. Gigguk has even been pushing the envelope of live streaming by pioneering the art of watching anime live on stream, legally. It's not easy to get any kind of permission from Japanese companies, and hopefully this will slowly open up more opportunities for content creators to do similar stuff.
This is gonna be literally the first and only anime club I've ever been a part of.
Trash Taste has continued their ascending run and they have started to take baby steps towards world domination by touring North America. If Japan manages to keep their borders open, there will probably be a new influx of guests on their show. On Personal Frontier, in the summer of 2022, Gigguk and Sydsnap got married. As you can see, Gigguk's career has been picking up more and more speed, and it doesn't seem like he's stopping anytime soon. At least I hope so, as Gigguk seems to have some of the best ideas on how to make anime and Weeb content entertaining and fun.
Can you see how much fun I'm fucking having?
That's it, fellas. If you're interested in what I'm working on next, head to my Patreon page. There are big things coming on this channel, so get subscribed, follow my socials, and don't blow up your house. That was silly of me.